Guys, how we doing today? I got October 2nd today. Actually, I got a couple of my friends, their birthday is today. My brother's birthday is today. So, on a pretty good note, there's somewhat of a celebration of life today. I hope everybody's doing good, okay? And let me get into this topic here about Stephen A. Smith. I don't know, bring up a lot of stuff about like commentators and all this, but it's just, again, there's certain stuff there I think that I want to leave alone, and I want to bring up probably more spiritually or edifying content, okay, as far as the knowledge, and also maybe try to get some type of moral out of it, moral or direction, something to stimulate more thought. All right, I want to probably get away from more of these pitly subjects or whatever, about stuff that a lot of this crime and stuff. It's not only that it's not good news, but this just doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Okay, a lot of people, and I'm starting to see older people, 40, 50, doing a lot of dumb stuff they ain't got no damn business doing, and those people gotta go. Those type of videos, I think that with a combination of, I'm going through life changes and so forth, that it puts a lot of stress and strain on me psychologically in my personal life and with my family. So, all right, that and I have to keep my core going so I can be able to do what I need to do and be able to pump these videos out as well. All right, so let me get into Stephen A. Smith. So he was a guy that I've enjoyed watching throughout the years. All right, but hey man, it just gets to a time where you get better or you get worse. Your time is going to come. Okay. Stephen Smith has probably been with, ESPN, 25, 30 years. I do know in his younger career he did some journal work in New York and some other places, Jersey. He's from New York, and he played some basketball down at Carolina Central before he got hurt. But anyway, that's a little bit a rundown about Stephen A. Smith. But over the years, yes, he's worked his way to really the #1 spot and the highest paid player. I'm not player, but commentator on ESPN. Yes, he's done a lot, although, yeah, I think that it probably took some Masonic ties and all that, okay? He may have said some things that were not kosher. Towards black people at times, but nevertheless, hey man, he earned it. Now he's on the decline, and I think that he made a mistake by firing Max Kellerman, okay, without probably trying to maybe interview or maybe considering a replacement. I think that ESPN is moving in a different direction. All right, I just think that maybe it's things about Stephen A. Smith's character, all right, that may turn people off, maybe an older generation, okay, but I think, and I also think that wokeism thing, all right, has put a lot of damper in conjunction with that a few years ago. I don't know though. All right, Stephen A. Smith tends to overpower people. Yeah, although he has some good points, but I just think that sometimes he's not always right. But he has some pretty good points. But then again, you have a lot of new guys coming up now. A lot of guys that retired. Let's just say, let's see here, guys like the Wiley guy, okay, and some other guys that played NFL, okay, played in the NFL. You have other networks like Fox Sports, Michael Strahan, and some of those other guys. I'm trying to think who else. Shannon Sharp and the other guy, man, I forgot his name, that was with Stephen A. Smith in the first place. Skip, okay. I really think that things was the same when Skip and Steve split up, all right, because First Take was the show, and I believe with help with Skip, that was the #1 show. So probably Max was a lateral move, and I just thought it was a mistake that he left. Now, Skip and Steve, there was rumors that they were supposed to get back together, but there's no that did not come into fruition. But here's what I want to say, all right? I think it gets to a point to where you get into a paradigm or to a threshold. You may work your way to the top if it's successful, okay? If it's not, then you could probably end up finding something to do or fall off. But you end up getting to the top. You're at the top for so long, and then somebody else, end up taking that spot. It's just the way things go. All right. And unfortunately, Steve Smith's First Take now that Max Kellerman is not on the show is dead last in ESPN ratings. And if he does not find a way to get those ratings back up, okay, to at least maybe a top 3, they're gonna let Stephen A. Smith go. Okay. I just felt that Stephen A. probably has done well enough to where he could probably have his own radio show, maybe a YouTube channel. He probably should have done that about 5 to 7 years ago. Excuse me. That way, he could have probably had another avenue, and then be able to, keep himself somewhat relevant, better relevancy than he does now with the First Take. So sometimes it's good to consider other options. Point being is this: I think Steve Smith has got enough talent to where he doesn't really need the corporate system, okay, or to rely too much on it. And I think that he's relied too much on trying to please these powers to be or whatever, okay. And the way that they look at it is where they can replace a guy that looks like, him or whatever with another guy or whatever, okay. So I'll put it like this: although he's been on the network for a while, that yes, though, okay, he could potentially be more expendable. All right, everybody's is expendable, but guys, if you can get out of the corporate world, even if you're working for somebody, okay, you could always work for yourself, okay. Maybe you could do a side hustle or something of that nature, maybe have a small business, something that you can do, because worst case is this, all right. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just don't think the corporate world is really set up really for the black man. I think they use it for a pawn for the black woman, okay. Am I saying all factions? No, but in that paradigm, we're pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole. And I hate to have to say that, okay. So you need to try to figure out ways to monetize your gifts and your talents or whatever, okay, to where you can have your own hustle. You can have your own business, like Steve probably should have been doing, all right? So let's just hope, I pray that Steve A. Smith can be able to get those ratings up, all right? But I would suggest probably to all men, especially if you look like me, to try to find a way to monetize your talents, all right? Before they had the corporate world or the market world, probably a couple of 100 years ago, you had a thing called artisanship, okay? And it still exists. But during the market era, back in the 1830s, a lot of fast mass producing and stuff like that of goods and raw materials and all that replaced the artisanship, okay? Replace your silversmiths, replace your people that, made clothes, seamstress, and people that made shoes and that type of stuff, clothes and all that, okay? To where you have the large corporations. Now I see a lot of smaller businesses and groups and all that. A lot of people that have their own little businesses and maybe, you know, sold them off and that type of stuff. So it's somewhat getting back to that. But you guys need to try to figure that those things out. You may not make as much money, but at least you can have more flexible and freedom. I've been pretty much self-employed for like 5 years now, and I have a lot more flexibility, all right, for myself and for my family, or for whatever else I need to do, as you should. Okay, something to stimulate thought, all right, and say some things on a better note. And stay tuned for the next video. If you find the video interesting, feel free to subscribe, like, share, leave your comments. Let me know what your thoughts, and thanks for listening. Oh, and also, if you want to donate to the channel, on Cash App, $ Winston Spivey, or SPIVEW1 at unlv.nevada.edu. I appreciate it, guys and gals.